Hey, what's up everyone? Gene Fetty back here for Keco Body Repair Products with another Friday at noon Central Time live stream showing you some about our tools and techniques and what all we can do with it and what you can do with it, more importantly. Today, we're going to be talking all about our different interchangeable feet that fit our system. So let me flip you around here and show you some of the feet that we're going to be talking about. So we've got our standard kidney shaped feet. We've got here the Crease Killer foot, or I'm sorry, the precision plate. Over here we've got our Crease Killer feet. You can see that on the K-beam here, we've got the exact same, hey, what's up, Brock? We've got the exact same kidney shaped feet on there. And all of these are interchangeable and they all have different subtleties and changes you can make by switching those around. So let me flip back here. So what I'm going to do today is show you how simple it is to change the feet and then walk through a couple of different scenarios on where you would use the different feet. So with that being said, I'm going to take the camera over, throw it up on the tripod. I will swing back around occasionally for some questions, but we're going to jump right into it and start off with, I think we'll probably start off with the Robolifter. So let me get you flipped around here. All right, get this thing to settle down a little bit. There we go. All right, so the first thing are the kidney shaped feet. So it's our standard foot, it's our original foot. It's what comes on the Robo, that's what comes on the K-beam. All of the feet spin around, they rotate around independently here, and then they also pivot to make sure they fit on anything. So as we come in here, right, if we need to go this way, we can go right to the edge of the panel. We can come here, overlap. Even getting into like a complex area like this, we can get that foot down in here and this foot on here and still affect a great pull. So that's how that works. Tech tip, when you're using the Robolifter on a roof rail, so that would be like, let's just pretend this is the roof rail. You would never want to put your feet sideways on the rail so they're pushing left and right of the tab. Always, if you're going to use the Robo on the rail, make sure your feet are this way so you're up and near the body lines that run on either edge. A lot more strength and you're a lot less likely to actually pull a dent in or push a dent in as you pull the dent up. So always feet up and down on the rails. So this kind of pull, let me throw a little bit of glue on a tab here. Is our standard pull. I'm sure you've seen it dozens and dozens of times. We use it on every video. As we come in with our glue strings that are everywhere, as we come in to pull on this, what's nice about these feet and on the Robo is you can look through and see a great reflection of the tab. So let me bring you over and show you that. Need an extra camera crew. Craig, thanks for the beard comment. Luke, glad to see you. So with the standard feet, you can see they've got a curve on the inside. You can really see through, and as you are starting to pull your dent, you've got a great line of sight. Sometimes, and I'm going to do this one-handed, if I want to pin the metal down just a little bit more, I don't want quite so much movement, I will actually take these feet and spin them around. So just like this. And then, when we are on the panel, you can see we've come in and we're a little bit tighter and we pull right around there. So, pinning the metal down, concentrating it even more. So, let's pull this with the feet just regular way. We'll over pull a little bit and release. And then I'm going to show you what the precision plate does on top of this. So here, right, you can really see. You can read the dent, you can watch the reflection. The way we know to stop pulling, and we're not on a dent here, we're just flat metal. Hey Steve, is you want to look at the reflection right on either side of the tab. As soon as you see it completely flat or maybe just a touch high like that, you know you can stop. So there's that kind of pull, and you can see we'll even give it a little bit of extra juice just for old time's sake. There's that. Now, Let me glue another tab. Let me set you over here. Hey, Whiston, Cape Town, is that Africa, South Africa? What's going on, Steve? There you go, guys. Let me get you locked back on here. So you saw how that pulls there. Now, to switch the feet, nice and easy. And I see people try to be too gentle with us all the time. Like, don't worry about it. They're made to come apart. So just grab the foot and pop it off. Grab this one and pop it off. Now we're going to come in with the precision plate. So that is for the Robolifter. Goes right on and then just pop it into place. What this is going to do is pin the metal completely down around the tab and hyper focus the pull. So let's go right next to this one. And I'm even going to go with a smaller tab. So this is our 13 millimeter. This is our, I call it our nickel size tab. To give you an idea, so it would be a dime and nickel are the two sizes. This comes in, we slide on just like with our regular kidney shaped feet, but when we come on, it holds all of the metal down around that tab. So as I squeeze, you can't really see. In fact, let me bring you back over here. See, I did okay on my geography. So with the precision foot, you can see the metal is completely pinned down. So this works great in two different places I've found. One, if you're out in just the middle of a floppy panel, you know, so if you're out, I think there's a brace here. If you're somewhere, and this is rigid enough, up on a C-pillar where the metal it's just floppy, and when you try to pull with a slide hammer or the regular feet, you're pulling too much, this focuses that down and lets you really concentrate the pull right there. Another place this works is when you have a really sharp pit, and you can already see if it's showing up, that's already starting to pull high, and I haven't even gotten into it. If you have a really sharp pit and you need to pull it hard, you know, the standard pull just is not turning it inside out, that's where this tab or this style and this lifter plate, the precision plate, will come into play. So if we go here and I sort of give it that same heavy pull, that pulled up nice and high. Let me release these two and I'll show you exactly what the difference is in those pulls. And it really is the foot is the biggest thing changing around there. So I'm going to release under pressure. Got our 99% alcohol. That's what we use to clean. That's also what we use to release the glue with. There's that one. And I believe this will hold all the way up to a 25 millimeter tab in there. Come on, let's get you to release. The glue we're using for demonstration today, and most of the time when we're doing demos, is the Cam Auto glue. And that is hooked up. That's our strongest glue. I'm going to set you over here. I need two hands to get these tabs off. There we go. Let me get this one picked free. So real world scenario, if this gets stuck on and you just can't get it to let go, you can take your heat gun and move it to about 150 degrees. This is a junk panel, and for time's sake, I'm going to use my knife. I would never use that on a real car. I'm going to peel that off. So now let me bring you over and show you the difference in these two high spots. A little bit more alcohol in there. So this is the difference those feet make. And here. So this one on the left was the nickel size tab with our regular feet. And I hope that you can see, there we go, that's a pretty even. If you look, we're looking here and here, you see how much darker the one on the right is? That's this. That dark, when we're reading it, that's telling us that it's higher. Also, don't know how well it shows on camera. This one is very soft edged. on either side. It sort of comes in and up and down. This one has a harder edge, and you actually can almost see that precision plate lets you pull a peak in there. That really concentrates the pull. I will definitely give you the warning that you can and will over pull with that precision plate if you're not careful. Do not pull just for the sake of pulling. So that is where we start. Our Robolifter, the basis of the whole system, the precision plate, the standard kidney shaped feet that you can use either way. Next up is our Crease Killer feet. So these come with the Crease Killer setup. If you've seen us at a trade show, I'm certain you got to see the Crease Killer demo. These feet, again, fit on the standard Robo. This Robo does have a longer pass-through in it for the creases. You can still pull with the standard head on a crease tab. But what I really want you to see is the two different sizes. So this side of the foot is longer than this side. Here's what that does. When we put the longer side in on either side, it actually comes in and creates a super tight space. And that's where our 7mm Crease Killer centipede will go. So when we have this set up with the feet turned all the way in, it sandwiches the metal down and you're pulling really just on that 7mm face. It's as hard a line as you can pull. This will actually pull a body line into the car. You can also take those same feet off and just spin it around to the more narrow side of the foot, and it leaves you a nice big gap in the middle. So if you want to move up to one of our larger crease tabs, you can still get in there and slide right in. Even all the way up to this wide will fit right in there. And when those feet come in, it works the exact same way. It comes in and it pins the metal down on that broader face. Going back to making your tab match the shape and size of the dent that you're trying to fix. Ultimate versatility. Now, you see, we've got one Robo on here, but we've got 3 spots. That's a single head setup. We can also move this to a double head setup. So we come in with a second Robo body. We've got a long pass through on this one as well. And pop this right into place. Just like so. Must have been doing a hard pull because that's screwed all the way out. And then, instead of just pulling with one head, you can pull with 2 and still have that exact same spacing, whether it's for the 7mm, like so, or flip them around and go right to the wider centipede head. So let me get 1 second. Let's take a peek and see if you guys have any questions before we move in there. All right, let's get flipped around. Hey, Chris Wright's here, Jason, Josh Armour from Mobile, Alabama, Danny Hacker, Hussein, Stephen, Frank. Guys, thanks for coming. I'm just scrolling back to check on questions real quick. Looking pretty good. Hey, Brock, if there is a question that I'm missing, just go ahead and shoot a comment up on the bottom, copy and paste, and I will make sure to go back and get it. We're looking good. Hey, Ronnie, what's up? Not too far away. We're here in Pittsburgh, and you're down in Maryland, so I hope you're staying safe and everything down there. Now, you saw the Crease Killer feet and how they go on. Let me show you how those pin the metal down next to the crease tabs and really focuses the pull right in there. There we go. Nicholas, hi, how are you? Who else do we have? Somebody else just said, hey, Don Dorsey. What's up, Don? How are you? Justin, what temperature do we run on the gun for the glue? So on our GPR Star guns, we run those at 190 Celsius. So take your dial right in, right at that 190 mark. I've never had to take one of these guns over 200. If you max it all the way out, it'll actually boil the glue. If your gun is in Fahrenheit, we're looking for 300 to 350 degrees. The way you know your temperature is right is that the glue will come out literally smoking hot, but not boiling. So you'll see some wafts of smoke coming up as you're putting it on the tab. You want that, and then make sure it's not all full of bubbles. So we're going to glue up a couple of tabs. We'll get it cleaned off. I'm going to check our temperature. A little chilly in the shop today. 71 degrees. We like to be between 75 and 85. I'm also going to make sure we get rid of the humidity. We're going to lay a couple tabs down, so I want to make sure we're good. In my shop, I like a torch for speed's sake. There we go, we're up to 85. If you have a heat, and you can also watch the humidity run away. If you're in a shop and you have to use a heat gun or don't have a torch, make that first heat it to 120. That'll get rid of all of your humidity, and then you'll be good to go. And then your pull range, 75 to 85 degrees is what we're shooting for. So let me show you. We'll just unplug the gun. And I believe it was Justin. So this gun, this glue should come out nice and smoking hot. I don't know if you guys can see the smoke coming up. And then the glue itself has no air bubbles in it at all. So, can't see the camera, but something like that, nice and smooth. I'm going to go ahead and place this crease tab here. I'm also going to set up 2 of our small dead center crease tabs. Same thing, coating the tab end to end. Smoking hot glue. And I'm going to put these 2 tabs right next to each other so you can see the difference that the feet make when we turn them from pinning the metal down to a little bit wider. All right, so we are going to go with our Crease Killer setup. I'm going to start with we'll start with the double head because it's already together. So this is our 7mm Crease Killer tab. 2 wide adapters, and the feet are turned to the tight side. So we're making this space here as small as possible. The idea there is to be able to pin the metal down as best as possible. The tab feels ready to go. All we need to do is take all of our slack out. So we can slide these on. And it's a tight fit, and that's exactly what we want. Remember, this is part of the magic with this setup, this system, is that we're able to pin the metal all the way down. So I'm going to move the tripod over a little closer so you guys can really see the power that this has. Josh, yeah, 75 to 85 degrees is where we're looking for on the panel temperature. Put your pan down there. So the glue is set. That's a 7mm face. This is my favorite demo to do when we're out at trade shows. So with both hands, right, really with just 2 fingers, you guys should be able to see how strong, like look at the metal moving around here already. So we're like this, and just, you know, ultimately ridiculous amounts of power. So that is with the feet turned in, the 2 heads, and focusing all of our pull straight down there. Sometimes that's what you need whenever you want to pull the whole shape or the whole face of the tab straight up. It will pull up and leave actually sort of a hard edge next to the high spot. From there, to showcase the adaptability, right, we can take and get rid of a head, just pop it off, bring this right to the middle. See what I mean? Don't be bashful with these. Just grip it and rip it off. Now this, I can come right to the center of the tab. We still have tons of control, but what I'm doing, if we were to snap this off, is we're focusing the pull right here. That's actually strong enough that as it's pulling, even as rigid as that tab is, it still flexes in the middle. So this will over pull in the middle and then give you a nice feathered high spot down to either side to knock down. You also, here, don't get too close to the edge, but you can go ahead and walk just like this around there. So to show you the power, because we got to give you a little bit of sizzle here, I think, we'll go ahead and hammer this with both heads to show you just how effective this system is for pulling a crease tab. And if you're at a trade show, when we get back to trade shows and I'm there or anybody's there, come see us. We definitely want you to feel the raw power here. So there we go. I'm centered on the tab. Now watch how hard I can pull that. Right? You can actually, because we're focusing that pull right down onto that face and we're squishing or holding the metal down, it lets it pull straight up. Even this small 7mm face has ridiculous amounts of power. See that? Doesn't want to let go. Here's why I said don't come out to the edge. When you get out to the edge on these, you actually lose a little bit of that power and it wants to shear off. So I slid off and I just have it in the end of the one. And that pops it right loose. So that's what not to do, come to the edge. But look at that raw power. Let me clean that off and show you what that pulled in. We might lose that tab. I got a little bit of alcohol next to it. So look at the line that pulled in. In fact, let me pop you off here. This right there, that it's almost a body line. It pulled so hard. See that? That is what the focused power does. In fact, over pulling, you can see right in the middle there, it's got a little bit of a dip down. Your adapters were here and here, but it's pinned down and that lets you focus the pull straight up. I'm going to do that same thing on these smaller tabs and show you how that works. Get you popped in here. There we go. So these are the same tabs. They've been on the panel for the same amount of time. In fact, it's probably a little bit cool. We want to be at 75 to 85 degrees. We're down to 76. I'm going to throw just a little bit of heat back in here, just like that. All that does is softens that glue back up. The Cam Auto glue, the collision glue, does not mind a little bit of heat coming back in to stay flexible. So if you walk away or you're doing something else and you need to come back and hit it, warm it up just a hair and it'll pull nice and strong. So for pulling these little dead center tabs, it would be a single head setup either way we go. We'll go ahead and get rid of one. You can also come in with just the regular Robo. I'm not going to pull because I really want to showcase these feet. But we can come in with the Robo here, right on it, like that. You can also get a slightly similar, just like I showed you in the beginning of the video. Spin the kidney-shaped feet in, comes in and pins the metal down a little bit closer. But for today, we're going to show the crease feet. So I'm keeping this on the tight side. These are 7mm wide. The first one, we're going to keep it all the way tight and in. Just got my adapter centered right over the tab and a nice pull. Good snap. The glue was a touch cold. To showcase the difference in the pulls, I'm going to go ahead and flip these feet around to the wider side, the wider opening, like so. I'm going to come in and pull this tab sort of the same way. Now we actually could watch in the middle and it's letting it flex up a little bit more, we should have noticeably different high spots here. Let me bring you over and show you. There we go. And actually, let me spin the light around so we can get a good view. So this was our pinned down, and this is our more open side. In person, that is a drastically different high spot. Oh, we got a mad gimbal. Hold on one second, guys. Half a second here. Let me reset it. It's just got to flip upside down for a second. Bring it back. And we should be good if I can get this to plug in. There we go. Different high spots. Much sharper when we pin that metal down. It holds real tight. This, again, is more feathered out. There we go. So let's get you back over here. We might be losing the gimbal. We are having gimbal issues again. Hold on, bear with me for 1 second, guys. All right, let's try this one last time. I'm gonna get you back on here and get our mic plugged back in. There. Back, hopefully that holds. Maybe it doesn't like that severe angle. Give me half a second to adjust this tripod down different. Let's try this. Modern marvels. All right. There we go. There we go. Let's try that. All right, I think we were just putting a little too much stress. I was pointing it down. My apologies. But that's the difference. So this was the single head, the double head, inside tight and a little bit wider to let it come up. Over here, we really demonstrated that, showing how when we pin the metal down, it really pulls a tight, tight line. Over here, it's more soft and feathered out. So before we wrap up for the day, I want to show you how the different feet can work even on the K-beam. So let me just check and make sure that we're sort of framed in here okay. Yes, good. So on the K-beam, the standard setup and the way it ships to you is just like this. With the kidney feet, again, these rotate around. The feet independently rotate around in a ball and socket so they can get wherever you need to get. If we're down here, right, we're able to get on this edge. We could even turn here, put this all the way at the edge, this on this angle, and that is super solid. We don't have anything to worry about. But if this were the scenario that was playing out, now our feet here would be stuck in the middle of the panel, and you'd be more likely to cause damage as we're pulling with this. Pulling up, it's pushing down, and you could end up denting the panel. Same exact feet as the Robo, same exact system. It pops right off. We can go ahead and grab a Crease Killer foot to give us a bigger surface area so we don't have to worry about denting the panel. So now with that same scenario, where if we needed to pull here, we can use the articulating features of the kidney feet right there, and then come over here and spread out our whole load over the big face here instead of the two pressure points. This will push down and not leave any dents. If you're also in, let me pan to the left here a little bit. Hey Mike, hey Jaime. Josh. Perfect. Dave Brinkley, thanks for coming on. If you're in a situation, and if you watched any of the videos with Jonathan, he is really not afraid to be on the glass. If you need to get on the glass, this is definitely the foot that I would go with to spread this out over a larger area and lessen the chances of damaging something else. Do that one at your own risk. I am not as confident as Jonathan is at going on the glass. But I assure you, I've seen plenty of videos. The glass is pretty tough stuff. That's it. So really, you can think sort of outside of the box. Another little thing you can do is, let me grab my slappies and show you another way you can use these feet in conjunction with the slappies. If you get into a spot where, like here, we're almost out of thread, and we're like, we just need a little bit more height, we can take the slappies and use them as a foot as well. Put them right under, put your Crease Killer foot on, you pick up almost a half an inch of height there. Now we would have room to move this lifter. So today we went over, let me back this up a little bit. See how this frames in. There we go. So today, for review, we started out with our Robolifter with the standard kidney feet. This is the traditional way to use them with the curved area in. If you want to pin the metal down a little bit more, just spin those right around to tighten that up. If you really need to pin that metal down, you're in a floppy panel, you've got a really deep dent, the precision plate is another super useful foot. That just snaps on and up to a 25 millimeter tab right in the middle, and all of the metal is pinned down. It concentrates your pull right there. There's nowhere to go but right here. From there, we moved into our Crease Killer setup. So that's the Crease Killer feet. Remember the wide side and the narrow side, depending on how tight you need or want to get into that face. Also, the single head setup, or set it up with two heads. Then we moved right into our K-beam, standard with the kidney feet. Again, rotate around, each one moves independently. You can also pop those feet off and go right into the Crease Killer foot if you're stuck in the middle of a panel, to spread it out so you're not damaging the panel. If you get onto glass, to protect the glass even more. And then last but not least was the little slappy trick where you can take these, one or two, and get a little bit of extra space underneath of those feet. So let me grab the camera here and see if anybody has any questions before we wrap up for the day. So flipped around, and the controls get backwards when I get on the back side of the camera. Let me scroll through here and just check. So somebody asked about temperatures. 75 to 85 Fahrenheit is where we want to be. Cam Auto glue. Yeah, Clint, we're using the Cam Auto, our collision glue. Ryan, we start at 12 Central every Friday. We got the temp on the gun. A bunch of hellos from everybody. We really appreciate you. And I don't see any other questions. Brock, if there's any other questions, throw a new comment up. And I'm on the screen now. Mike Peters, will those work on the previous style mini lifter? Mike, if you're talking about the aluminum body one, yes, they absolutely will fit. The feet are exactly the same. In fact, on my hail kit, I still have an aluminum body Robo that I just love and can't quite give up. Last chance for any questions before we wrap up for the day. While we're waiting for those, thank you, Josh. While we're waiting for those, all of the links to where you can find our free trainings, previous replays, how to schedule a consult with me or Brock, everything is in the description of this video. You can click on those links and follow it through. Of course, pulltopaint.com for your 6 C's and how to go. Whiston, thanks so much. Patrice, thank you so much. All right, guys. Any package deals? That would be Brock. We do have some kits, so that's probably the best way for a package deal. Reach out to Brock, and he can help you out with any sales questions. Guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next Friday on another live stream here with Keco Body Repair Products. You guys have a great weekend, and thanks for stopping by.